So we got this downgrade of growth a little bit from Goldman this morning. You were talking about costs, and we're concerned, continue to be concerned, of course, about inflation. We've got supply chain bottlenecks. We have technology stocks that are sort of whipsawing a bit after a bit of a recovery last week.
Right.
So what are your thoughts as we head into this?
Banks continue to look good.
Right.
And now the banks are going to get hit with earnings. I'm just amazed.
The banks are going to get hit with earnings?
Well, no, I'm saying they get earnings. There was, if you looked at Bank of America, that's just been a fantastic stock to own. And I question whether that's going to necessarily be bad. Citi is so cheap. Some of the regionals are cheap. So these are 11, 12 times earnings. And then the oil stocks. There was a downgrade Conoco today. I don't even think it'll dent the stock. Conoco, Goldman downgrade.
You don't think so?
No. Fatuous exit. Fatuous downgrade. That guy should play in Wembley.
Do we stay above 80 for a while, Jim?
Yeah, I just don't know where the supply is coming from. And it's not like anyone, look, the major oils, Devon, Marathon, Diamondback, Occidental, APA, EOG, Hess, Pioneer Natural, they all of those are either cutting back or not spending more on exploration. Right. And you need these companies to do more. Now, the thing that we're doing well is we have lots of natural gas. It's landlocked in the wrong place.
Right. We talk about the lack of pipelines to move it from one place to another. Right. We obviously do export some, but
it's not
the percentages is not an overwhelming percentage.
No, I mean,
we are thankfully have a great deal of natural gas, unlike, of course, what our potential shortages really in Europe, particularly if things get very cold there this winter, that's the weather. We don't know.
I remember Sharif Suki, who is a Tellurian now, but he was,
He was Cheniere.
He was Cheniere.
Yeah.
And he said, why aren't the Europeans getting free of Gazprom? If they locked us in, they could actually literally separate themselves from Gazprom. Gazprom, by the way, is withholding when it wants to withhold. And no one seems to attack the Russians. They say, okay, that's nothing we can do.
By the way, always important to point out, $80 oil is pretty beneficial for the Russian economy.
It's fantastic for the
Create
Russians.
even more havoc.
Right. Well, the Russians will
have some more money, and
I don't know anyone who's.
It's obviously good for the Saudis as well, and
yes,
and Aramco. And
Aramco pays that great dividend.
Yeah.
Right. Look, a lot of I'm looking at these oil companies and just saying they're up 80, 90%, and no one cares. They just keep buying them. See, they were down unnaturally because of that tremendous period where oil went to zero.
Point you've made many times, they are returning capital to shareholders as opposed to putting more of it in the ground for development.
Variable dividends. People love a variable.
It's not as though Exxon and Chevron and many of the majors aren't spending a lot, but they are. But they're also, by the way, spending a lot on carbon capture.
Yes.
Which you could argue positively, at least for that, they have more money to do it with.
Yes, they do.
Look, they're printing money right now.
Look at Chevron. They've got a great yield still. They are putting from $3 billion to $10 billion in ESG. Now, just so we know, they are adamant, as opposed to the J.P. Morgan downgrade, that what they're investing in is going to actually produce a return. I mean, we're talking about renewable natural gas, David. People think that that's going to be good.
Yep.
But what's Exxon going to do with that new board? What is your thinking? Cut back, trying to figure it out? Not produce more until they actually have figured it out?
I don't know. I mean, I think you can expect Exxon's going to be fairly aggressive in terms of trying to hit targets, but I think they're going to try and also be realistic about it.
Right. Well, people don't realize we always talk about this Engine 1 as being some sort of fluke because they didn't spend a lot of money, but they're not anti-oil.
No, they're not.
They're not.
They're not necessarily. They want to change.
They want change.
They want change.
Do you think they want the CEO gone?
I think that is less likely at this point to occur.
Well, then if they're not going to be more ESG and they're not calling for Darren Wood's firing,
I think he's got support.
What exactly
on that
do
board.
they want?
Well, they've got what they want. They've got their 3 members on the board.
Yeah, but what is
going to be able to agitate to it? Not agitate. They're going to be able to work towards more spending more to transform the company.
Okay. I think that's right. They have to. I mean, so far it's been such a laggard. It was the largest company in the world in 2013.
It's true.